Simple query on index numbers. This query trigger is available under Indices and Index Numbers section. This query trigger enables the user to find companies based on the value of indices such as daily, high, low, opening, closing values. It also allows you to find companies based on derived indicators such as daily returns, index alpha, beta, R-square. The index numbers are available for three types of indices: the BSE, the NSE, and CMI family of indices COSPI. Let us understand the functioning of this query trigger using an example. Suppose we want to find index PE of 10 times or more for NSE segment and sectoral indices as on the last trading date of the exchange. To execute this query, you need to follow 7 steps. The first step is to go to Select Indices by Name query trigger and select NSE segments and sectoral indices available under NSE indices. Then select the domain All Indices and execute this query by clicking on the Execute option, Send to New OSI. After the query is executed successfully, the New Outputs button will start blinking. Click on the New Outputs button. You will see that OSI will be selected by default in the Output Downloader box. Click on the Continue button to download NSE segments and sectoral indices in the current output sheet. The second step is to go to Index Numbers query trigger and select the appropriate tab available on the top of the user interface. The tab Query is selected by default and let us retain the same. The third step is to select the indicator to be queried on and specify the range in the Range From and Range To boxes. Let us select the indicator Index PE from the Select Indicator box and enter 10 in the Range From box and leave the Range To box blank. The fourth step is to enter the appropriate date in the Query on Dates box on which the search should be conducted. T is the default setting, which implies the last trading date of the exchanges. Let us retain the same. Let us retain the default selections in the interval and date proximity boxes available below the Query on Dates box and Output Dates box. In the Output Dates box, AP is the default selection. Let us retain the same. The date formats used in the Query on Dates, Output Dates, Interval and Proximity are explained in the Help on Dates, which can be accessed by clicking on the question mark icon available just above the Query on Dates box. The fifth step is to choose the appropriate domain from the two domains available, All Indices and Indices in Current OSI. The domain All Indices conducts a search over all the indices available in the Prowess database for which index numbers are available. The domain Indices in Current OSI conducts a filtering on the indices available in the current output sheet. Let us select the domain Indices in Current OSI since we already have NSE segment and sectoral indices in the output sheet. The sixth step is to select the appropriate output destination from the 4 formats available in the Select Output Destination box. The first is the OSI format, which lists the names of indices in rows and time and indicator in columns. The second output destination is the WS, which is the worksheet, which displays indicators in rows and indices and time in columns. The third output destination is also WS, which displays time in rows and indices and indicators in columns. The fourth output destination is the TXT, which displays the data in a text file. The domain OSI is selected by default and let us retain the same. The seventh step is to select the appropriate Execute option to run your query. For the selected domain Indices in Current OSI, the 4 execute options available are Send to New OSI, Retain Matched Companies in OSI, Add Data to OSI, Remove from OSI. Send to New OSI creates a new output sheet of qualifying indices and its data. Retain Matched Companies in OSI will filter indices from the current output sheet which have satisfied the criteria specified in the query trigger. Add Data to OSI will add the data of the qualifying indices in the current output sheet. remove from OSI will remove the indices from the current output sheet which met the criteria specified in the query trigger. Let us select Send to New OSI. After the query has been successfully executed, the New Outputs button will start blinking. Click on the New Outputs button. You will see that OSI has been generated and is selected by default in the Output Downloader box. Click on the Continue button to download this output. The output sheet will display indices of NSE segment and sectoral indices whose PE is 10 times or more for the last trading date of the exchange, along with data.